Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. Today, let's take a journey into a concept that quietly shapes the course of many lives, often without them even realizing it. Have you ever felt like you're tied down by invisible ropes? Not by anything you can touch, but by a belief, a feeling deep inside that says, "You're not enough?" Today, I want to talk to you about the illusion of inferiority, a silent force that can quietly imprison our potential. Imagine an elephant, a magnificent, powerful creature, strong enough to uproot entire trees, yet sometimes you'll see one standing still, bound only by a thin rope tied to its leg. Why doesn't it just break free? It could, easily, but the real chain isn't around its leg, it's around its mind. You see, when that elephant was young, it was tied down in the same way, and no matter how hard it tried, it couldn't break free. Over time, it stopped trying. It learned that it was powerless. Even as it grew strong enough to shatter any rope, the belief remained. I can't. I'm not strong enough. I don't deserve to be free. This is what I call the illusion of inferiority. A deep-seated belief that quietly echoes through our lives, limiting our actions, our dreams, and even our happiness. And just like that elephant, many of us live today with invisible ropes tied to beliefs that were formed long ago. When we were children, we were fearless. We dreamed boldly. We believed we could become anything, do anything. But as time went on, dust covered that brave worldview. Shame replaced boldness. The desire to fit in replaced the desire to be unique. Fear replaced courage. Caution replaced the spirit of adventure. Family, teachers, society, often with good intentions, tightened the ropes around us. A child packs their suitcase for a school trip. They're proud. But then a parent opens it, repacks everything the right way, sending the silent message, "You don't know what's best." Later in life, the same child chooses a career, a partner, a dream, only to hear, "No, choose something safer. Choose what we know is best." And so the belief forms, I can't trust myself. My choices are not enough. I must let others decide for me. The invisible ropes tighten. We begin to think that making mistakes is a disaster, that perfection is the only option. And since perfection feels impossible, we let others dictate our path. Or we simply stop trying altogether. Maybe you've stayed in a job you dislike, believing you aren't capable of better. Maybe you've stayed in a painful relationship, thinking you don't deserve peace. Maybe you've held yourself back from a dream because you're afraid of failing, not realizing that failure is simply a part of learning to walk, just like when you were a child. You fall, you rise, you try again. But under the illusion of inferiority, we see falling as proof we are not enough, instead of proof that we are learning. There's a powerful experiment that shows just how deeply beliefs shape reality. At Dartmouth College, participants had realistic-looking scars applied to their faces. They were told they would go into interviews and observe reactions. Just before entering, makeup artists touched up the scars, actually removing them completely, but didn't tell the participants. Believing they still bore the scars, these people reported that interviewers seemed repulsed or uncomfortable, even though there was no scar at all. Their belief shaped their own behavior, which in turn shaped the reactions they experienced. That is the power of the mind. That is the power of the illusions we carry. Two people can meet, both feeling drawn to each other, but both convinced they are not enough. One withdraws out of fear they will be rejected. The other feels abandoned and confirms to themselves they are unworthy. And a beautiful connection never gets the chance to grow. The illusion of inferiority robs people of their true lives. It makes us overcautious, stops us from taking extraordinary risks, prevents us from living authentically. We strive for impossible perfection while settling for lives we secretly resent. We think, what's the point? I'll probably fail anyway. But this is not logical thinking. Because even if you try and fail, you still have a chance at success. If you don't try at all, your chance is zero. We don't have to fall into false pride or arrogance. But we also don't have to chain ourselves to the lie that we are less than we are. We are human, with strengths, with flaws, with endless potential. Imagine if you believed, truly believed, that you deserve more, that you are capable, that you are worthy of your dreams. What ropes could you break then? Remember that thin rope on the elephant's leg. Remember that it was never the rope holding it back. It was the memory, the belief. And so it is for us. If we dare to question those old beliefs, if we dare to throw away the rotten apples of our mind, if we dare to rebuild our trust in ourselves, we can create a reality far better than the one we live today. A world of how can I instead of I can't. A world where falling isn't the end, it's just a step toward rising stronger. So now tell me, what is the rope you're ready to break today? Thank you for being here with me. If you enjoyed this reflection, don't forget to subscribe for more deep journeys into the mind and heart. Wishing you courage, strength, and freedom, always.